crafty friends, it's Christina. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing something completely different than I normally do, and we're going to do a kind of a craft room style vlog. I've got a bunch of things that I need to take care of and stuff that I've been putting off and stuff that I just recently purchased, which is what you're looking at right here. And I thought I would just kind of do that with you today, and we'll start off first with some of the things that I just purchased and one thing that came in the mail today. But one thing I will show you later is I did buy a cork board for my office area here in my craft room, and I will show you that later because we're going to be putting that up. But I did buy these little leaf push pins for that cork board, which I think are really cute. And it's so funny because one says $2.99 and the other one says $3.99. I believe they gave it to me for $2.99. Which I don't know. I have heard that Hobby Lobby does this, and that they'll have two different prices on their things, which I think is totally not cool. But if you go to Hobby Lobby, look at prices for things and look for the cheaper one. Also went to Joann's, so I'm going to be all over the place because this is all mixed up. So there's Joann's and Hobby Lobby. I ran to Joann's. I was mainly going there to look for their 8x10, or their frames were on sale, and they needed an 8x10, which we're going to be remounting or reframing a cross stitch that I did for my mother-in-law many years ago. And over the summer, my father-in-law passed away. My mother-in-law passed away a couple years ago, but my father-in-law passed away this past summer. And I grabbed the cross stitch that I had made for my mother-in-law, but the frame broke. So I want to reframe that so I can put that here in my craft room. Then I also picked up some craft wrapping paper, and I bought this because I'm actually wrapping a gift that I bought for a friend of mine last weekend. I went to the Philadelphia craft show, or not craft show, flower show last weekend with my niece, her fiance, and my husband. And I picked up a little gift that I thought, well, I bought one for myself, and I thought she would really like this. So I bought that, and I want to wrap that today. Also at Joann's, I picked up some of their linen material because I found this really cute bunny rabbit embroidery, like in the hoop embroidery design, and I want to try to make that, and it needed two different types of linens. So we might be doing that in this video today. We're not 100% sure, but I did get those two pieces of linen. If not, we'll do that in another video. I bought a bunch of buttons. So when I went to the Philadelphia craft show, we stopped at IKEA. I keep saying craft show, flower show. We stopped at IKEA and I picked up a duvet cover, but my comforter doesn't have any loops on it for holding the duvet cover in place. So I thought I would go ahead and just sew some buttons on there so that I can put my new duvet cover on my comforter. So I got those for Joann's. They were buy three, get two free. So that's why I have picked up a couple of them. Also at Joann's, they have their spring ribbon on sale. So I picked up this really pretty blue, which is not a color I would normally go for, but I really like this. And it has this really cute fringed frayed edge. And then I also got it in this taupe color with the white stripe. So again, 50% off. And they were $5.99, I think, a roll. And they had some other colors. They had I think they had a pink color. And then they had other designs of their ribbon. Also at Joann's, because I wasn't planning on going to Hobby Lobby. I was really on the mission to look for the frame and a cork board, but I ended up buying, of course, other things. I bought these two pieces of wood, which were on sale 25% off, and I got them for some cross-stitch projects that I finished working on. So I just wanted to get these here so I can get those kind of done. I'm going to paint these and then mount the cross stitch onto some sticky board and then maybe add some ribbon or something like that. That's not going to happen today, but I just wanted to get them because it's a project I want to work on. And then when I was at Hobby Lobby, their wood was 40% off. So I bought a round circular one because Joann's didn't have that. So I bought that one. So I bought some fat quarter packs at Hobby Lobby because I just needed some solid colors for if I'm working on kind of in the hoop projects with my embroidery machine. So I bought this one. This is actually, I found this in the embroidery section, so it's embroidery cotton, and it was $6.99, and it came with all these pretty colors. I just think this color palette here is very pretty. Then I found this in their fat quarters, so I have a lot of nice colors in there, and I think they called this the fall Yeah, it's the autumn collection, which these are only $4.99. And then I bought one also in more neutral colors, so I have those because I don't really have many solid pieces of fabric. And when I was working on an embroidery project not too long ago, I wish I had some solid fabric. But I'm going to probably get these all wrapped up and put on display, so I'll go through this process of how I do that with you. And then I also picked up some of their sticky board. This is also from Hobby Lobby. I picked up the sticky board that you use for your embroidery projects. I have, like I said, one project that I'm getting ready to finish, but I'm not going to do that today. But I wanted to get this here so that I'm ready to go. Most of the things I've been buying for cross-stitching has been online. Oh, and then I also received an Amazon order. Actually received 2 Amazon orders. So my favorite pencils are these Oxgel HD pencils. And I have one of them somewhere around here, one of them at work, but I wanted to get 2 new ones. So actually one is for my husband because he really likes them too. And then I have this one, and then I bought one in another color. So, but these are my favorite pencils, especially when you use the HD lead with those. I'm going to open this up. My address is on it, so I'm just going to get it out of camera, and then I'll show you what I got. So what I got from Amazon was the Hobonichi Cousin in the Han, which is a hardcover, and this is the planner. I said this year I wasn't going to do planning at all, and I feel like I've been a mess and not keeping track of everything. So I got this. I'm going to work on this weekend and get it all set up, and I'm really just using it for work. I do have a little planner that I can use here, which I probably will use. And then I also bought a clear cover to go on this. So I'll probably get this all set up. Well, we could actually just do that now. So this is the planner. And if you're not familiar with the Hobonichi planners, they usually are a soft cover. And I bought mine on Amazon, which means it's going to be more expensive. But I also only needed to order this. And if I ordered it directly from the Hobonichi site, it just means that it would probably cost me the same amount in shipping. So this is the planner. If you're not familiar with it, it has Tomoe River paper, which is I really enjoy writing on this paper. And it has a monthly view. We have weekly views, and then there's daily views. And I really love this planner, and I love the hardcover. So this is a clear pocket that we can put over the top of this just to keep it protected. Difference. Oh, and there's also in these a pencil board. They're just so if you're using different types of pens. Gel pens work the best in these. I use my I use my mono drawing pens in here, so I don't have to worry. I never worry about smearing. But these are perfect to put in between pages. It helps protect if you're using a gel pen or something like that. So I am going to get this cover on. And then I also do slip this into another cover. So I have a book, like a faux leather kind of cover that we could put this in. So we're just going to get that in there. And then we've got to get the back pocket in. One thing I hate is bending my pages backwards. So we're going to get this in here. Get in there. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, we got it. Let's see. One thing with sometimes these are pretty tight, which I prefer that they're tight. Oh, that fits perfectly. So now my cover is nice and protected. It does come with 2 bookmarks to mark your pages, but I usually have clips and stuff in here. And since it is March, I do have some things that I could fill in the daily pages with, and kind of notes and projects and stuff like that. So anyway, that came in the mail. We're not going to be working on this on camera. This is something I'll do off camera since it's for work. And then I want to go ahead and I'm going to grab my cross stitch that I did, and we will get this mounted with the cross stitch. This is one that I did back in 1997. So you can see it says Tina 1997. So just so you know, my family members all call me Tina. And I made that for my mother-in-law, my mom. I made one for my mom too, which I have that one downstairs. But I thought I would put this one upstairs. And I can't remember if I did this before or after we were married, because we got married in 97. So I needed a new frame because the frame that was in, I probably fell apart. I took that back in August, so I don't even remember. Ooh, I love that it's rounded. Ew, fancy. I didn't even know I had rounded corners. That's cool. And then I can also hang this up, so which is really nice. So I'm not sure. I know I'm not going to use the mat, so I'll just set that aside. But I think that's going to be really, really nice in there. And then I'm going to put that on display, hang it up somewhere here in my craft room, because I have the one that I made my mom downstairs in my kitchen, which I don't know why it's in my kitchen. I think it's because I had an empty thing there, and I just thought, well, that'd be perfect. So let's see how this looks. Keep in mind, I did this in 1997, so we're going on a long time ago. It looks like I'm going to have to do some trimming to get it to fit. How did I get it to fit in a frame before? Oh no, no, it won't fit. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of trimming, but I really like how that looks in there with the black, because there's a lot of black detail in that quilt. It has a lot of black stitching. The whole thing has some black stitching. I remember doing the black stitching on this. I did not like doing that part. It wasn't fun to me. So I'm going to clean the glass and trim this down, which kind of makes me nervous because I also don't want to ruin it. But it's so weird that 1997 me made this. I always loved cross stitching. It was something that my mom and I did together. So I don't know if I need to cut the whole thing or just this weird, let's see. You can see how bad, I didn't know what I was doing back then. It was, not so good at it. But let's see if I can get this cut down just a little bit. I don't know if I want to use these scissors. Let me grab different scissors. Probably a box cutter and a ruler would have been a better choice than a pair of scissors. But, oh boy. Am I ruining the front? No. Okay. Hopefully that did it. Oh, goody, it did. And let's see. Can we see that I cut it? No. That worked perfectly. Okay. All right. I just got to grab some glass cleaner and clean this up. We'll get this cleaned up. And then this is going to hang on a wall somewhere in this room. Where? We'll figure it out. I had to take you off the camera mount to show you this because I think I mentioned in my craft room tour video, this corner cabinet desperately needed to be cleaned. So I'm going to show you what it looks like now because I did take some time and got it all cleaned up and it looks so much better. And I added some motion sensor lights on there so that it can light up because that is a big problem. It's like a dark abyss in there that I can never find anything. Got everything all nice and cleaned up, which is really good. Down at the bottom, I have got that all cleaned up, but I needed to come in here and get my glass cleaner, and I wanted to show you what it looks like. All right, so I am going to pop this out of here because I want to get this glass cleaned. We're going to take these two things out. I don't like using aerosol for anything, but this glass cleaner is my favorite. It doesn't streak, so I make an exception for one aerosol can. Ooh, that was dirty. So I'm going to bring this back in. That. Then I have my cross stitch. This would not be acceptable for crafting me, but back in 1997, me found that acceptable. But things back in 1997 weren't available that are available now that make things so much easier. So, but I just like that I can have this. It reminds me of doing it for my mother-in-law and having, she really enjoyed it. I know she had it hanging up in her living room for many, many, many years. Really like that. I'm going to get some of these things, I have to deal with this, so I'm going to put this aside and we'll deal with that at some other point It's not super important, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'd like to be able to get that bunny rabbit made today or this weekend, but we will see. I have other things, like I said, I need to get other things done, and a lot of these things are things I've been putting off. So we'll set that aside. If we have time this weekend, we'll do it. These 3 things are for cross stitching. That'll be, one's already done, and it's a Valentine's Day cross stitch, so I probably won't be doing it until next Valentine's Day. But I have materials, because I do have a cross stitch that I just finished that actually came as a kit. So I have a pillow, it makes a little pillow. So at some point I need to get that done. And then I have one I just started, but none of these will actually work for the one I just started. So we're gonna put these away, and I'll save these for when I get around to doing the Valentine's Day one, and then also for any future ones. And then speaking of cross stitching, I actually took these bottom 3 drawers of my Alex unit and made this into my cross stitching area. In the very bottom, you'll see I have all of my thread. So thread that was in a different part of my craft room is in here. I picked up some of these Alta New bags. I had tried ones from Amazon and they were terrible. As a matter of fact, I think there's one in here. It's got a broken zipper on it. Here's the one I did for Valentine's Day. And I thought that would be good to put onto, like once I mount it on a piece of the sticky board, I can even mount another piece with fabric and then mount this onto this wood piece, which is what I'm going to paint. So this was the first one I've done since probably 1997, but I had a lot of fun doing it, and I've already gotten one other thing done, and I'm starting a 3rd one. So I am really thrilled about that. So I'm going to put these wood pieces in here, and then in this drawer is just some of the fabric for doing cross stitching. One thing I've been really trying to work on is to decorate this section of my office area in the new addition to my craft room. And you probably noticed my embroidery machine is not here anymore. I actually moved my embroidery machine out of this room and put it back into my original craft space because it just felt so congested right here. So I am going to actually put up a corkboard, which I did buy today at Hobby Lobby because they were on sale. So I got this corkboard, which is a nice narrow corkboard because I don't have a whole lot of space in that back wall there. So I'm going to just get all of that stuff off the counter, set up my corkboard, and then kind of redecorate it. But this area right here has just been giving me a little bit of a, I'm not sure what to do, but I will say I just haven't really put a whole ton of effort into getting this set up. So I'm going to get you in place and we're going to clean out this section and get that corkboard on the wall. That fits perfectly in that corner. I am super excited about it. I thought that was going to give me a really hard time, but it worked out perfectly and I love it there. So I'm just going to clean the counter and then we'll kind of decorate this area up. Don't know what I'm going to put on the bulletin board just yet. I want to put something with a little bit of color because, like I said in my room tour, this corner is kind of dull with color. But I do have this vase that I had in our bedroom, and I really love it. And I've been using these green leaves for some photography, so I figured that looks okay in there. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's just decoration for my space, and I could pull those out if I need them. And then because it's Easter, I got to add a little Easter to this. I got this. I don't think I'm going to add any more to that because I don't know what I'm going to be putting on the bulletin board just yet, but I do have to grab my little tacks that I just bought. This $2.99 and $3.99 on these push tabs blow my mind. It's the craziest thing. It's just doing the pins, and they're push pins, but they have backers on them. But I'm just not going to put those on, and I'll put them in my drawer where I keep all my other little doodads. So we're just going to kind of stick. I don't know if I'm going to put both sets on, but at least get a couple of these on here. That's perfect. So I'm just going to leave those the way it is. I'm not going to open up the other package just yet. Then in the corner, I think this is where I'm going to set my cross stitch. So I can actually, I was going to hang it on the wall, but I think I will leave it here for now. And then maybe I'll hang it on the wall in the future. there's just so many wires all over the place with my computer and stuff. So I think I'm just going to leave it the way it is. And that pretty much cleans it up. When we went to the Philadelphia Flower Show, I stopped at IKEA, I said, and I bought 2 of the pegboards. This pegboard is still needing a little bit of work. This is the one right next to my desk area. Then this pegboard just on the other side of my room is actually now on the top. I've got some of my classic Colorworks embroidery thread, clips for sewing, and then I have my scrapbook.com color pops here, and then the rest of this is all embroidery scissors and things I need for doing embroidery. When I went to the Philadelphia Flower Show, I picked up this little gift for my friend, and I'm not going to open it, but it's this really cool ceramic dish that has like a little grating feature on the inside, and you can use it to do garlic and Parmesan cheese or anything like that. So I got this for her because I knew she would really like to use it because she likes to cook, and I thought I would just do a little decorating of the wrapping paper. And she is a big fan of this color, this dark deep green or bluish, dark teal blue green. I don't know what you want to call it, but anyway, in Simon Says Stamp World, it's called Raindrop. And I have 3 new inks that just came this week, so I thought I would play with the 3 of them, and then we would try out doing stenciling on my craft paper. If this doesn't work, then we'll just do plain old craft paper. But I thought this would be fun to try, and I wanted to play around with these new inks just to see how they are. So this one is the Dew, which is the lightest color. Then we have Mist, and the last one is Raindrop. So I think I'm just going to take some of my mint tape here and hold this into place so that it doesn't keep moving around on my desktop. And then when we get to those sections, I'll take that tape off. Okay, I think I'm just going to cut another piece of this craft paper because I really like the darker color ink rather than the lighter color. And I think I'm just going to run with that one. And instead of doing both the stencils to create all the vines and everything, I'm just going to come in and kind of pick some of the full flowers that are on here and just do it that way and just cover the piece of craft that way because that's way easier. But I really like the dark. Much better than the lighter color on the craft paper. Okay, I'm gonna get this retaped to my desk. And as a matter of fact, that other piece that I had might have been just a little too small. So we're just gonna tape this down so it holds it into place. And then I am going to do a couple of these flowers just in different spots, and then I'm going to use the Raindrop ink. Okay, I'm switching to a smaller brush because then I can kind of pick a little easier the flowers that I want to do. So I'm going to start up in this corner. Oh yeah, that's perfect. And I'm only aiming to do the full flowers and not the little ones. I'm loving it. So I'm just going to fill in all of these areas with that ink. And then we can come in even with the smaller ones to fill in some of these little gaps too. And I'm going to try to do it in different angles so that it's not all the same. I'm loving it. All right, this is going to take me a bit, so we're probably going to have to put this on fast forward. All right, I'm just going to set this aside and let it dry. Let the ink, make sure it's all nice and dry. As a matter of fact, I might even just take my heat tool to it and make sure it's all dry. And I didn't worry too much about the corners because those are going to be wrapped up in the paper anyway. So put my tape dispenser there. So I am going to wrap this keep looking for a tape dispenser. Oh, that's gonna look so good. All right. That is so cute. I like the way that turned out. Okay, so I was having a hard time deciding what kind of ribbon to use. This is chiffon ribbon that I bought purposely for gift giving. And the colors that are in this greenish blue box just don't match the ink. But I think I'm going to use this kind of like taupey, peachy kind of taupey color. And we'll use that. We'll see how that looks. That looks good. Rolled up, I think they look great. And they're going to work. But once you take them out, because they're very opaque, or not opaque, but sheer, you don't know that it's not going to work. Let's stick tweezers in here to hold that, and then we will make our bow. Just like that. Get those tweezers out of there. And then we can cut this off. And there we go. I just think that's so cute. And I will make a little, probably a little card to go with this. I won't do that on camera because that might be something I do later on this evening. So I want to take care of my fabric here and get these onto the boards that I store them on. So I use these comic strip chipboard kind of, they're real thin, and I don't have enough cut, so I'm gonna have to cut some. So I'm bringing out my big boy trimmer here. I love this trimmer. I have had it for years, and it is fantastic because you could do a couple of sheets at one time. So I'm gonna start off with just doing one because I think these are 5 1/4 because they measure 10 1/2. So I'm pretty sure it's 5 1/4. So I'm just gonna come up here at the top here and measure up at the top. So 5 1/4. Let's see. Yep, 5 1/4. Perfect. So I also have to trim off a little bit on the sides too. So we'll cut this down too. And I just want to create a little supply of these because I'm getting low on the other ones. So I'm going to cut them down and then we'll be back. So these are the boards I use. They are the they're comic book backing boards, and they come in a package of 100. And I can get two pieces of the board out of one section. I can get 2 sections out of one board, which is plenty for, the amount that I do. So I'm not going to cut all of them because I like to keep them whole in case I need them for some other kind of project, but I'll stick these extras right into there. As a matter of fact, I think there's one extra in that pile that I have set aside, so I'm going to put them in there and get these put back into the drawer that I keep them in, and we can start folding our fabric. I also have these little plastic clips that we're going to need, so I am just going to pull a couple of them out here so they're on my desk, and let's zoom in so you can see a little bit better. So these are fat quarters, so they are just perfect if you do any kind of small projects. So I like to get these for just working with my embroidery machine because I am not very good at sewing. So I really don't use it material for anything other than my embroidery machine, but I love it. And maybe someday I'll get into sewing. So what I do is I just open up one of the pieces and then I'll take the card and actually stick it on the inside, just like so, making sure that it's just a little out from the top there. And then I will take this and fold it over, just like that, making sure everything is nice and flat. And then all we have to do is just start rolling it, just like so. And then usually I get to the end, either I can keep it just as it is, which I think this one I can, but sometimes if they're too long, I'll fold it and then clip it. So we have this piece, and then I'm just gonna grab two of the clips. I put one on either end. They're just like a bobby pin for fabric. Just like so. And then I just put these right onto my shelf where I keep all of my fabric. There you go, lots of great color selection. So I'm gonna put these away on my shelf, and I might have to do a little organizing on my shelf because I'm seeing that once I put these in there, it's gonna be extremely tight. All right, this is my shelf for my fabric, and I usually have two bins. I took one down already for my completed cards, but I'm gonna take these out of here, and if I can put them back, I'll put them back, but I don't know if I'll be able to. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's a cap for one of my cameras. It's good to know that it's there. Then on the end here is more fabric, which I completely forgot was here. And is this holiday? So this is Valentine's Day fabric that I bought, and I wasn't really thrilled about, but I bought it because I was looking for something Valentine's Day and ended up never using it. And I don't know if I'm going to keep it because I don't like the feel of the fabric. But I was kind of desperate for something, and I ended up not even using it. But this gingham one I'm going to definitely keep. And then this right here is a freebie package that I received from Primrose Cottage when I placed an order with them. It was a mystery Christmas bundle that I received for free. So I am going to set this aside because I don't know if I'm going to keep my Christmas stuff here or if I'm going to put it someplace else because it's Christmas and I'm only going to use it once a year. All right, so here are the ones that I just did. And I think I'm going to keep all of my solids at one end because I do have some solids. Well, these are fall. All right, wait. We're going to have to do a little work here. So some of these are fall and Halloween. That's all kind of fallish. And then these are, that's a solid. That's almost a solid, almost a solid. Those are kind of stained. Okay, let's see, what else do we have that's solid? So we have this one, and these, that's a tea-dye one, and got another tea-dyed that is purple. And then these are all of, I just heard a clip fall. And then these are all of my regular I'm losing clips because I am moving things around. All right. So these are all solids. These are ones that are tea dyed, or look like they're tea dyed. So we're gonna put all of my solids down on this end. And then I'll separate them by the tea dye, because I've used these a couple of times, so we don't want to lose those. Yeah. Oh, this one's got clips on both ends because it's a smaller piece, so I clipped it on both ends. I think there's actually two pieces there. All right, then we have our solid colors, and then I think what I'm going to do is I will put my fall and Halloween down at this end, and then I will go ahead and wrap my Christmas, because some of these, you know, that's in the Christmas bundle, but it could be used any time of the year. Same thing with this one, and I think there's more in there that are like that. So I think I'm going to wrap those. I won't do that on camera. I'll just get that done off camera. I'll get these two wrapped, and then this will be all Christmas, or the holiday stuff will be at this end, and then all of the everyday use stuff will be at this end. So right here are the finished cards. I'm just going to leave them here for now. I'll find another place for them at a future date, but for right now, they're going to stay there. I'll make myself a note to find a home for those at some point. I'm just going to leave the video here, and I hope you enjoyed just a different look at how I do things in my craft room. And if you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Give a comment below if you want to see more of In My Craft Room vlogs. Thanks everybody for watching. See you next time. Bye.